things just keep getting worse for Wonder Woman 84. I'm really shocked that they're fast tracking the third one. You'd think that they would wait for reception to come in because, well, we don't really have a box office to check. This is crazy. So yesterday it was at 65%. It's dropped down to 62% for a critic score. Audience score has dropped down to 73. That was at 77 not that long ago. Like, this is really bad. You have to wonder if they're watching this and thinking, what did we do? You know, the big problem with this movie is that Patty Jenkins wrote and directed it. Maybe for the third one, don't let her do both, because it would seem that she's not very good at script writing. Anybody that's watched this movie will probably agree with me, even though some people like it. And I didn't think it was as bad as a lot of people are saying. There's a lot of bad stuff in this movie. It's a mess, but there are some good stuff in here. Maxwell Lord is good. Steve Trevor, Chris Pine is really good in this movie. But the movie is bad. It's not a very good movie, no. But I'm really shocked that the critics are trashing this movie as hard as they are. All you gotta do is just go check out the negative scores, and everyone's calling it a mess. Like, that's like the top thing, failing to live up to its own high standards. This is the most recent review. I still can't believe we got Kristen Wiig in a blockbuster as a villain, and it was this off base. It's a mess of a plot, not very entertaining. A lot of the action is rote, and it feels like a movie made by a committee. That it does. Gets it a little bit worse, though, when you go and look at some other stuff. Cosmic Book News putting this together. Wonder Woman 1984, worst IMDb DCEU movie. Wonder Woman 1984 is now the worst rated DCEU movie on IMDb, the site owned by Amazon known as the Internet Movie Database. With over 78K votes, Wonder Woman 84 comes in at 5.6 stars, which is lower than Birds of Prey. Worth a mention is that the 2017 Wonder Woman movie has the highest rated DCEU IMDb rating with 7.4. So we see, according to the fans, things went really bad with the sequel, which makes sense as Patty Jenkins took it in a completely opposite direction for some reason, unfortunately. So here's the breakdown, as you can see. What's interesting is we actually have, here's their ratings. Man of Steel, 7. Superman, Dawn of Justice, 6.4, Suicide Squad, and then here's Wonder Woman. As you can see, it was the highest rated one, and now we have 84 at 5.6. It's barely beating, it's barely beating Green Lantern, which is super low, but I personally think Green Lantern's a better movie than this one. I think Green Lantern's better. I even think the Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck is a better movie than this. So this is pretty bad. I have to wonder what they're thinking about over there at AT&T Warner, if they're even watching or they care. A lot of the times they think that it's bots doing this, but how can you ignore it? Like, it's hard to ignore this when you look at the actual Rotten Tomatoes. Like, it's not a bunch of people on Twitter, even though Twitter is roasting the hell out of this movie, by the way. You have the actual critics giving this movie trash ratings. And I also want to point out that this is the verified ratings for the audience score, where you have to go through a bunch of hoops to have your score count. The actual everybody score is much lower than this. And that... I don't know how you ignore this. How do you have to wonder if they're sitting there thinking, okay, so are we still going to go ahead with this third one? Well, we've already said we're going to. Maybe we should have someone co-write the movie with her. And by that, I mean, we'll just say she helped write it, and we'll have somebody else go ahead and pen this whole movie. I guess Zack Snyder wrote the first one quite a bit. He had some help, but he was a large contributing factor to that first movie. In this movie, he was there by name only, and in God, it shows. It shows. There were so many bad decisions with this movie. Here's one of the reasons why the critics are panning this movie, by the way. I did a video on this yesterday. Like, there's so many people mad about the Middle Eastern stereotypes or whatever that are in this movie. still nobody talking about the problem between Diana hooking up with fake Steve. You know, there's nobody, no articles on that. Not one. I think, oh no, there was one article by The Wrap, and that's it. Nobody else calling that problematic. Oh, but these Egypt stereotypes, these are worse. We must always portray the Middle East as a utopia. It's, of course, a friendly place. Women highly respected in the Middle East. They can just, recently, they can drive cars now over there in Saudi Arabia. So, yeah, definitely got to show that as a utopia, a place of friendliness and warmth at all time. So anyway, how low can it go? We'll find out because people keep reviewing the movie and it keeps going down and down and down. So this will be interesting to watch. Really, like, I wonder how low that score is going to be in like a week or two, because every time a day passes, the score goes down at least a percentage point. So I really wonder, could this become the lowest rated superhero movie of all time? It's pretty interesting to watch. Now, what's really funny is usually critics, even if the movie is bad, will push it for a progressive score. That's what happened with Captain Marvel. If you remember, there were people that coming out with interviews and like, sometimes you got to pick your battles. We're going to go ahead and give this one a higher rating. There were interviews where people were talking about that. I would suggest you look into it. I don't have enough time to go into that for this video because that's it. Let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments below. If you would, please like, subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed. Share the video. Hit that notification bell, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out.